How's it going, guys? Donnie coming to you from Penguin Style Podcast Studio. Just got done watching Gran Turismo, and I wanted to do this while the emotions are raw, just like I did for AliveHoon. So this is going to be a comparison of AliveHoon. It's going to be kind of spoilers in there a little bit, but I'm not going to try to give away the whole thing for people who haven't seen it. And before we get into it, for the guys who haven't seen it yet, AliveHoon, here's the Blu-ray. Again, it's kind of cool. I'll get into it a little bit, go in a little bit backstory. But again, you want to buy AliveHoon, you've seen the trailers. It is the only professional-made drifting movie out there. There's no CG and everything. So this is going to be kind of the topic of discussion alongside of Gran Turismo. A little bit of, I guess you want to say, drama between production companies and things like that, because AliveHoon came out and essentially it's the very same premise. One is about drifting, and one is about grip racing, wheel to wheel. And with that, both of them are real, both of them can happen, and the winner overall and all this stuff is sim racers, because both movies have proved that, you know, a guy can go from sims to that and everything. So the thing about, you know, Gran Turismo is it's based on a real story, and everything based on a real story, real things like that. So it actually did happen. AliveHoon, while there's no CG and all real driving, is essentially something, you know, that could happen very well, and it has happened. Guys have went from playing Sims. Look at Shinji Manawa's son, who is, I think, under 15, 13 years old, is a full sponsored driver under the TRD, man. So this is the kid that went from Sims to pro racing. I'm 40, and I don't got that ride. And, I started my company and things like that. So the guys, real quick, I'm a business owner here coming from my performance shop. And I started all of this, everybody who's seen Pink with Style, everything for me started from Gran Turismo 1. So for me, either way, win-win, because Gran Turismo was in both movies. It's not Forza, nothing against Forza, but Forza ain't it for me. I do PC, I play Assetto finally, because Assetto did some things I didn't like back in the day, and whatever, the Assetto is just what it is for Sims on as far as the PC. And the advancements of the PlayStation 5 and everything has kind of really allowed PD to really utilize the hardware and put things out there. So it's kind of cool to be involved with Gran Turismo since part 1, and now I'm 40 years old, and now this part 7, and you got the VR, and it's just too cool. It's a nice time to be alive, man, and to see the evolution of gaming and everything. So getting into the movie. All right, so honestly, I went in there. I want to talk about Gran Turismo because I've already done AliveHoon, so you guys can go back and watch my AliveHoon stuff. I've already talked a bunch about it. I'm just going to do some comparisons here. But being that, I got AliveHoon to play on base. It was the first time I played on base anywhere in the world. I know the director personally. We're friends now, so it's kind of really cool. So as you build those relationships and you talk to the director and things like that, and you also you get the underdog story a little bit, and how AliveHoon, because it was only made at $3.5 million, was kind of shunned because they didn't see those big dollars. And then you got the same thing that came out with Gran Turismo. Again, same premise, pretty much the same premise. One just went drifting, one went grip, and one was an actual story, and the other was kind of fictional story, which can happen. So it's very plausible. So it wasn't like over the top fake. So anyway, I went to the movie theater to see Gran Turismo, and I went there honestly expecting it to be cheesy and me to be pointing out stuff and everything. Polar opposite, man. The movie knocked out of the park, and the reason why, for me personally, it knocked out of the park because it evoked emotions. It evoked anger. It evoked, a sense of accomplishment. It evoked the underdog story. A lot of different things where I can apply directly to my life. Again, I tried to contact PD, Polyphony Digital. I tried to contact those guys multiple times. They're kind of hard to contact, and I'm pretty sure they got NDAs going on. They run a tight ship, and maybe they don't need my story. And my thing is, it's not about being selfish, but hey, man, look, it is kind of a cool story. Look, I started with Gran Turismo 1, got into cars, did a lot of car. I still do a lot. I run a shop, so I do a lot of car stuff. Live in Japan. I'm a pro level drifter. I will obtain my pro level racing license for grip, time attack, wheel to wheel, because I just want to do it. Drifting is not lucrative, and there's more customers there. And to have all that stuff go down, man, and all that evolved from Gran Turismo 1, man. Sitting in the seat, man, and I don't know if it's because I'm 40 years old now. I got kids, I got a wife, And maybe, even though I'm hardcore and I can still go out there and wrestle and fight people and everything, you as a family, it changes you, man. If you're a good person, it does change you because you start to care about other people. So in a movie, man, there was a couple of scenes, which you guys all, it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, when a car flies away, and that happens a lot at Nürburgring, depending on the tailwind speeds and the aerodynamics and everything. The car flipped, and there was a scene where the car flipped, and it's like, oh man, that was my kid, man. How would you feel? And the underdog part, man, of knowing you got the stuff, man, knowing you got it, and everybody's saying no, 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 and that part, man, it resonated so much with me while I was sitting in that seat, man, to the point where, kind of getting no crap, man, like kind of like choke, getting that ball in your throat, man, like you're not gonna cry, but you feel the emotions welling up, man, and then doing a racing portions because I am a racer. I've been in these cars, man. I know how fast they go. I've been in some really fast cars, and I haven't won any championships, done anything like that, man. But like the process of getting to there, here there's 3 winners, right? Or team wins. But everybody else went through the same process to like get on that line. The same family problems, their same battles with their physical abilities and stuff like that. Get on that line up there. Everybody got an ego there. Everybody is the best. Everybody is a top-notch driver. So what's the separation there? It's the team. It's your mindset mentally. It's how far you're willing to push the car and things like that. So that movie did a great job, again, relaying all that. The beginning had to build the stuff, and I was like, all right, get to it. As soon as they strapped into that GTR, man, my heart started pounding, and and that, I don't like watching stuff. I like the race. I know what it feels like to race. Racing is fun, so watching it, not so much. But man, I was sitting there getting angry. Again, I don't want to spoil it because there's certain points in the movie where, like, politics came in, and that's real stuff, man. So when you guys see it, you'll see the portion about the politics and everything, things like that. Again, so getting into the movie, good movie. I have nothing tied to the movie other than I'm a Gran Turismo graduate, so to speak, on a major level. Again, I really hope to get with PD, get my story out there because it is a story that needs to be told. It's not like I'm just, hey man, look, no, hey, I started with Gran Turismo 1. Now I'm in your country making money on Japanese cars that I started. So all those parts in that thing, all those parts in that when you go to build your car, I'll physically handle all those parts. Never in my life. I got my own suspension. I didn't bring the prop up here, but I got my own suspension brand, Pinko style PSO2, and I got my own wheel brand. I got my own brake kit. All this stuff derives from Gran Turismo 1, man. So I pay homage to it all the time. I always will. And it's kind of a bias thing. It is a bias thing, but it's a good bias because, again, you got Forza. You got all these guys coming along saying they want to do this. But, hey, man, Forza, until you put some guys on the podium that came from playing your game, you need to sit down and relax and let the grown folks do the walking and do the talking, man, because all those guys that are designing for Forza at Turn 10 or whatever it's called, they pay homage to Gran Turismo, and they'll say it. So it's the consumers trying to make this thing where it's not. Forza is not on the level of Gran Turismo and never will be, and Gran Turismo will always be a console king, hands down. Again, I became a pro driver, a pro shop owner, all from Gran Turismo 1, the inspiration for coming at. I went to Tsukuba Circuit where I did thousands of laps on a game and went there and I placed well over guys who've been racing there, actually on the track longer than I have, or many more times than that, more sessions than I did. So the whole argument, simulations, are they real? Are they good? That's already been dispelled. So anybody else that's saying anything else otherwise, then will be educated by this movie and they will see it firsthand. So again, I honestly got to be honest, man. Because I'm so much involved with AliveHoon here, with the director, with future production stuff like that. That benefits me, benefits my shop. Of course, you want to be biased because you want to win. Like, I mean, let's not mix words up with this stuff like that. I'm getting kind of like podcasty. I got my podcast. It's supposed to be kind of like a movie review, but I've already said the movie's good. I don't want to give it away because if I start talking about it, I'm going to spoil it. I don't want to spoil a movie for the guys that just came out to go see it. Maybe I'll do let it get a month or two down, and then I'll do a thing with me and my guy Lex. But again, man, if the movie was crap, I would have just sat there like this, and then I was engaged when the race happened. I was in my mind preparation, put my baklava on, put my helmet on, what I'm thinking about, hitting my marks, not overthinking, being in the moment. Because when you're racing, you cannot go out there and be like, okay, step one, I'm gonna go here. Step two, I'm gonna do that. So one thing I would like to, I want to see if there's some interviews out there with John, and see if the part, man, I'm about to spoil it. So I got to hold off what I'm gonna say, but I want to. There's some stuff in the movie where I want to know if that actually is how he did and what happened, or they did just dramatize it and everything and stuff like that. But for them to go, put that team of sim racers on that podium in a 24-hour race of Le Mans, that was amazing, man. Like that's historical. That will forever change the scheme of things. And again, it solidified. It made Gran Turismo 7 a different game. It made GT Sport a different game because of what happened there. Gran Turismo changed immediately forever after those guys, got his FIA license, a podium and things like that. It changed forever because it proved that, hey man, this is not game is a game. Playing Mario Kart is a game. For the layman guy who see everything, for the people who are too cool, yeah, everything's a game, right? But no, these are simulations, man. It's the closest thing you can get to getting out there in a real car, crashing and learning how to do it. Now, when you get out there in a real car, yeah, there's physics. They did a good job of showing that. That, hey man, there's G-forces involved. You can die. I've been to some pretty good wrecks, man. Had whiplash, had sore backs, had sore shoulders from the seatbelts. My finger got caught up and jammed in the wheel from the wheel snapping back. You could break your wrist if you don't let go. There's part in the movie where it shows in the trailer where he's crashing and he goes like this. That's what you do. When you crash, you let go of the wheel. There's a point where you can save it, then there's a point where you let go of that wheel, because if you hold onto that wheel and that wheel smacks a wall at 130 mile per hour, your arm is going with it. Everything inside of there, your arm, imagine if you got your wheel in there, all this rotates around. It's happened. Your whole thing twisted, broken, twisted, everything, man. So they did a good job of that. Again, I want to make it short and sweet. I just want to get my real feelings on it. Again, not AliveHoon. They can like I said before, I was telling my wife, they can coexist. AliveHoon is AliveHoon. It's in this lane. They're the same premise, though. They're the same premise. Sim driver goes pro, dominates, win. He won a championship in here, so there was a little bit of fast forwarding and everything, but it's very possible with the training and everything. So everything in this movie is plausible in AliveHoon. There's no stuff in there. So and some people didn't understand like this. So it was kind of cool because the AliveHoon showed the Japanese style timid character. Then Gran Turismo had some American flair in there. Then one of the characters was an American guy, brash, bravado, and you'll see how that works. Again, go see the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. Very good movie. Again, worth your time. I'm a very, very busy guy. I will go see it again before it leaves the movie theater. This has to be seen in a movie theater. Unless you got a home movie theater with good surround sound and things like that, this has to be seen in a movie theater. Some movies are getting to the point now where if you watch it on your phone, you watch it on your TV without sound, it's just not going to hit the same. So unless you got like an 85-inch or LCD or a projector set up with a good 5.1 surround sound, you're not going to get the full effect of this movie. You cannot get it from a laptop. You can't get it from a bootleg copy. Go and pay the money, go see it and everything. But like I said, again, I was fully prepared to not like the movie because, again, I didn't like, and this is where I'm kind of go back, take a step back. AliveHoon, they shunned it because, again, the amount of money it cost to make the movie. There was no major Hollywood stars in it. There were some Japanese guys in there that did some Netflix stuff. But the companies, man, and I seen it, man. Like the director was going around doing all this stuff. So it's kind of like on both sides. The director of the movie, Shimoyama-san, he elected to not have the actors do a press tour. I'm not sure what that was about. He did all the press himself, so he put everything on his shoulder, which that kind of made, he spent a lot of his own money. I spent all my own money to promote the movie and get it out there. So you guys see me talking about it a lot, and as a result, not doing the media tours, not doing this and stuff like that, it kind of put it down. Now, at the same time, even though I'm investing in Gran Turismo, I didn't seek any promotion tour for that. So I just went to see the movie because Gran Turismo. I didn't need a promotion tour. I'm gonna go see it because Gran Turismo. You got to persuade me to go see it. So it came out yesterday. I went to go see it yesterday on the 15th. It came out in Japan. So I waited. And it was me. I was in a back top row center, so I'm best seat in the house. And there was not a lot of people there because it was during the week and everything. So Yeah, man, they just kind of shunned it, and then like so the director, man, I understand being a creator. I've had music stolen by guys in the music industry, and it sucks when you have an idea, when you do stuff before somebody else, but you just don't have the number one influence, or you don't have the money, and those two things, man, that's why I had to kind of stop talking to certain people, or not talking to anybody about my ideas, because I had the ideas, but I didn't have the bank to make those happen. And I've had two ideas in Japan stolen by other shops. The thing is, it got stolen. I know they know they stole it. Well, I know that they know they stole it, right? And we no longer talk because of that. I don't talk to them anymore, and that was a low shot, because they had the money, but no in vision, no creativity. And a lot of people, I take for granted creativity, because I can create. I'm always thinking like, marriage this, marriage that. If I make this song, it'd be cool with this. Like, it's this creativity flows. It flows. It's easy for me. Easy to make music, easy to make things happen. But everybody's not creative, so they steal ideas. They poach. So AliveHoon had, even the cover right here, you see split face. They had the same thing. I know for a fact, because I called it out. I sent it to the director, and the director was like, "Holy crap, man!" Same thing, and then no crap, man. About a week later, it changed. With the social media, people can ignore you until they don't want to ignore you. Everybody, if they want to see you, you're seen, right? So I put a video up about it on YouTube. The director shared it. It got around, and everybody will start sharing it. Somebody in Japan seen it, and somebody at PD is connected. Everybody, I believe, is separated by 6 degrees of separation. Is a real thing. I really believe it. If you really go back and trace, Grant, let's look in America, or if you're in Japan. 6 degrees of separation where you're at, or you got people living there, I think is a thing. Granted, I don't probably know. I do know people in Switzerland, because I got buddies all over. So Facebook is changing that. So before social media, 6 degrees of separation was a thing on your geological location, but now with Facebook, it's actually a thing, unless people are not online. So anyway, you make a post, somebody at PD sees my post, sees the director post, and says, "Hey, we should change this because it looks just like that." Already, people are going to knock it because it's the premise. So now Gran Turismo came out, so people who don't know about AliveHoon are going to think AliveHoon took their ideas, but no, AliveHoon, it's already on Blu-ray, which means it's already run its course through the movie theater. It's already out. It's already went through the theaters. It's already did that thing. It's on Amazon right now, and some other stuff right there. So they had issues with streaming and things like that, which I know PD is going to put it right on Sony. No issues there. So it was just a money thing. So a lot of people at the production company with AliveHoon felt slighted and everything, and to be somebody who's created something and been looked over, I took offense to it a little bit too, and kind of, so it was like, man, I'm torn, because I love Gran Turismo, but it's like that whole part of the business right there kind of got me. So it is what it is. When everybody wins, that's in the Gran Turismo. Everybody wins, that's a sim racer. Both movies are good. Both movies are good in their own right. They can coexist. You can watch one and watch the other one. You will see the same premise, but you will see where one went the other way with drifting and one went the other way with grip racing. They're two different sport disciplines. And in Japan, it is a thing, because people who don't, the Gran Turismo movie is going to be a bigger crowd, because there's more people that you drive regularly, right? You do grip racing, you do time attack, wheel and wheel. There's more people in Japan that does that than they do drifting. Drifting is kind of looked down because they see the crashes, they see the tires being burnt up and stuff like that, and they assume that drifting is just like a stupid low-level sport. But when you get into it, it takes skill. So my guy Tsuchiya's son, who was a big proponent of the movie, Max Arito, guys like that, he was a proponent of the movie. Then you got guys like Taniguchi and so forth and so on, that D1 champs, D1 drivers, high level, the Drift King, and then they also did JGTC, Super Taikyu, and things like that. So I'm a guy. I drift. I can hold my own with anybody in the world. I say that confidently. I can drift. I'm a professional level drifter. I can hold my own with anyone in the world. Get to a track, get a few laps on it, I can drift. And then wheel, I like time attack, so I'm just as good in that, same passion. So when guys know that I'm a drifter, they know me from drifting, don't do this. Like, dude, I know how to grip drive, so I do both. Most people don't do both, and the thing is, you can do one or the other. If you're good at drifting, you can translate those skills to grip. If you're good at grip, you can translate those skills to drifting. So I don't know. I don't like how people try to separate things or put things in the thing. That's more of a Japanese thing where they're one single shot minded, and that's kind of their thing and everything. And that's a whole different topic, which I've covered in my podcast. But again, not to get too long winded. Awesome movie. Go see it. AliveHoon and Gran Turismo can coexist. There's going to be differences right there. The movie showed it showed exactly what's going on here. Money, influence, politics, a lot of behind the doors, a lot of side conversations. Unfortunately, man, out there in this world is about who you know. And I refuse to, my business has progressed in 7 years, but I refuse to rely on who I know because they ain't got the best interest for me. I don't need them to progress. And also, it's not amicable and it's not mutual. So then it's going to be like, oh, he only popped because I told him. He only popped because I shared this video. He only popped because, like, nah, bro. All the guys here in Japan that I talk about all the time, you know them, I ain't got to call them out, but all of the influencers here in Japan and the guys that are notable, none of them ain't doing more than I do. If they are, they will have their own tuning shop. So let's keep it real. They're covering the world. And I said this multiple times out there. I know what I'm doing. I know my value. I speak like that. I'm leaning forward and getting charged up right now because that last night I watched a movie and I was emotionally charged. I was a little bit angry because it conjured up memories and stuff like that. And, yeah, man, like I know my place and others should know their place, man. Like, don't come into my lane telling me what I should be doing. Like, you're not doing a fraction of what I'm doing. You're not doing a fraction of what I've done. And you need a long time to catch up to where I'm at, personally. So that movie, again, is a real good movie because, again, it evokes emotions. And if it evokes emotions, it's a good movie, good actors. It's good. It's good. A movie that doesn't evoke emotions or you're like only other emotions like this sucks, then it's not a good movie because it doesn't do anything for you. And that's to me. Anybody else watch that movie? I've seen some reviews. Like, obviously, they're not racers. Yeah, there was some CG involved and things like that, but there was actual will on payment driving, so it wasn't a full CG computer generated movie. So it gets a pass from me. AliveHoon was no CG at all, zero CG, all real driving. So that's where, even though the budget was $3.5 million, it still actually ranks above because there was no CG. So that's a candle they can hold. So it's comparisons, production companies, and then even on the back here, Polyphony Digital are on, they're in the thing. But it seemed like there was like, can we do this? Okay, and then there was that. So they didn't really go in too deep because I even asked the director, because honestly, playing a game, I asked the director, hey man, I really have a story for these guys, man. Do you know anybody there? And it was kind of like, maybe they signed an NDA, don't direct nobody towards us. It happens, man. If they want to get with you, they'll get with you. You got to make noise. So I'll make my noise. My shop is doing good. I will return it to pro racing. I had to kind of take time off, but I'm back. And I'll be back on the track. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. And be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And be sure to go and check out the movie. Let me know what your opinion is. And we'll check it out. See you guys later. Peace.